I need everybody to take a deep breath and say it with me. Freemasonry is not a religion. All together now. Breathe in. Breathe out. Freemasonry is not a religion. Doesn't that just make you feel better? It makes me feel better. And once we get over this idea that Freemasonry may be a religion, we can start pushing other things out of the way too, like Freemasonry is not a cult. Or the silly notion that Freemasons worship their worshipful master. Or you may need a really big breath on this one. Freemasons do not learn that they worship Satan at the 33rd degree. There are no images of Baphomet in a lodge. And all the spirituality within the lodge are philosophical ideas and not salvation theological topics. And we know all this because we learned today that Freemasonry is not a religion. So mote it be. Freemasons will always try and take care of each other. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But Freemasons also know help will only come if it is within length of the brother's cable toe who is doing the help. For instance, I do low voltage cabling. It's my bread and butter. I'm audio visual. That's what I went to school for. I am a team leader. I'm a project manager. I'm a designer. I'm a programmer. Like, I've done a lot of stuff within the low voltage cabling scope of work. I am also a hiring manager. I interview and I hire people. It's one of my jobs. And that's going to be important later on during this video. In my particular experience, what happens is, I go to lodge, I get these projects done in lodge. I'm a part of a lot of committees. I work good with teams and, all that stuff right there. So if a brother, his company is hiring for a position that I would fit within or qualify for, a lot of times they hit me up and they're like, hey, Fluff, are you interested in a new job? Are you interested in a new position? Would you like to know more about this opportunity? Sometimes I say yes. And it's a nice feeling to know that if I were to lose my job, that I have no doubt that there's brothers out there who would help me get back on my feet as quickly as possible. And I'm saying get back on my feet for me to support myself. They're going to help me. They're going to, be references on my resume, all that sort of stuff. Things that a good friend would do. On the flip side of that coin, I get a lot of brothers that come to me saying, hey, Fluff, are you hiring for any positions? Do you know anybody that's hiring for any positions within your organization or anywhere else? And I'm the kind of guy who doesn't like to, crap where they eat. So I'm very, very careful on who I select to apply for one of my positions when they're available. This could be one of the greatest brothers in the world, one of my favorite people to sit next to at lodge. But, if you're not qualified for a job, you're not qualified for a job. And that's all right, because, if our brother, one of the brothers at my lodge, he owns a bank. And if he's looking for a new vice president for, the home mortgage lending department, I'm not going to put in my resume and expect to get that job because I have absolutely zero experience with that. But if there was a broski who was starting a new network firm out there and he needed somebody who was familiar with CAD and familiar with reading blueprints and getting the right ordering system in place, yeah, okay, call me. I'm your man, But still, if I'm not the right guy for position, if I'm asking for too much, or if there's somebody more qualified who's not a Mason, I'm not going to be upset if I don't get it. Because the number one thing that brothers want is for their other brothers to succeed so they can take better care of their families and themselves. On the consumer side of the agenda, I'm always going to try and support a brother's business. Sometimes it's just not possible. Today I'm at home because my heater went out at my house. Do I have brothers in HVAC? Yes, I do. But my home warranty doesn't support their companies, so I gotta go with a competitor this time. However, 7 times out of 10, I will support a brother's company, even if it may end up costing me a little bit more, because I trust the brother. I have a relationship with the brother, and I know he's not gonna try and win one over on me, So yeah, no, Freemasons, we absolutely prefer working with other Freemasons. We absolutely prefer supporting Freemasons and their businesses and things like that. But at the end of the day, you have to do what makes sense to you as a consumer, as an employee, and an employer. So mote it be. Did you know that there are a few things that Freemasons just absolutely refuse to do? I'm Brother Fluff, a proud Texas Freemason. Follow me for more Masonic content. You will never see a real Freemason going around online saying, "Hail the light." In fact, I believe my whole Masonic career, I've never said, "Hail the light" until today. If you see somebody in the comment section who says that, most likely they have no clue what they're talking about, or they're trying to take your money. Second thing, you will never find a real Freemason going into somebody's live or comment section and trying them in a public setting, especially where you got to write the words down. There are ways to find out if somebody's a real Freemason online, but I'm not going to tell you. That's something that I know, and you'll just have to find out. Real Freemasons don't invite non-Masons, the profane, the cowens, the eavesdroppers, to become Freemasons. To be a Freemason, you have to ask a Freemason. And the last thing I'm going to share is all real, legitimate, regular Freemasons understand that green beans are way more superior than pancakes. That's a belief that we stick to, and nobody can talk me out of that one. So mote it be.